Hello everyone, it's Dragana at Saacibo. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. And yet another episode of making ephemera from scratch. And today we are going to make our own large tickets. And I've got a freebie prepared for you. You've got 3 large ticket templates and you've got a page with text. And they're going to be to botanical gardens, butterfly enclosure, and bird viewing preserve. All right, something different. And I'm going to be using freebies from the previous episodes and maybe some from even a year or two ago. You can find them all on my website. I guess the first step is to just cut them out. I printed both of these just on copy paper, and for the actual ticket I think we need something a bit more sturdy. I've got this watercolor paper that I've dyed, so I was thinking I'll just glue these onto that side, and then that's going to be my back, because my tickets are quite large, almost like tags, and I want to be able to write on the back. I'm going to go with white glue. I could actually get away with glue stick, but I fear that eventually it might start peeling off, so I'd rather use this. And this dries faster than the glue stick. I'm so excited to do this one. I've been planning to do it 2 weeks ago, and then I thought, oh, I better do the photos first. And then I did the photos. I thought, oh, but I have to do the envelopes. So these series are starting to be really fun, a lot of fun. Okay. I've used some of the papers that I've dyed as the base for these, and I try to use colors that are not too dark, because once we add other things here, you want those things to stand out. So what have you been up to? I've been taking my plants outside, and now I just pray that there's no morning frost anymore. Otherwise my avocado tree is gonna suffer. And it's still flowering. It's been 2 months since it started flowering, and it's still producing flowers, but no fruit. I guess I need another tree. And I have 5 more little ones that are growing, but they're just like a year old. They're all indoor plants, but I take them out in the summer. And oh my gosh, there's so much work in the backyard. But I always say, whenever I get overwhelmed with work, I say it's a privilege to be able to grow at least something. So I should be grateful. These are just 1 inch. And what else has been going on in my life? Oh yeah, my brother has bought a ticket and he's coming to visit me in August. I'm so excited. You know, since he left the country, it was 30 years ago, and he's never been back. So this is going to be the first time he visits his place of birth in 30 years. Oh gosh, he's going to be in for a big surprise. It's so exciting. I've already started planning what to do when he comes here. And a few years ago I made him a journal, junk journal, traveling one, just for him, so that when he comes here he can fill it up with memories. He said he's going to bring it with him. Yeah. I've shown it in a video. That's an old video of mine. was thinking that perhaps here I could run it through the sewing machine just without the thread. I could also use just one of those tools that we use for binding journals when you sew the signatures. I love how old this looks now once I've added the ink. Nice. I think this Making Ephemera from Scratch series really made me think a little bit outside the box. I'm quite happy with everything that we've done so far. I hope it was helpful to you as well, especially if you are a beginner. Okay, let's see what we've got here. I want these tickets to be really fun, you know. And I want to include some images and just whatever basic stuff that tickets have. And maybe this one, it has that butterfly. Maybe that one can be for the butterfly enclosure. Now this one here has these flowers. Maybe that can be for the botanical gardens. It can be that way too. And then with this one, maybe we can do the birds on that one. Okay, I'll just start by cutting out these and then I'll see what looks good. Butterfly enclosure. Oh, actually, I've just seen that one. I think I want to use that one. But I'm going to cut it like this, wavy. Just like butterflies are playful. Okay. Yeah, I like that better. And then botanical gardens. Maybe that one. And I didn't include any of the cities, you know, like, for example, Melbourne Botanical Gardens or New York Botanical Gardens and so on. You can, if you want to. Bird viewing. I'll just go with this one for now. And we can change later if we don't like it. Let's ink them a little bit. A few years ago, I used to have a vegetable garden. You know, grow the basics like lettuce, tomatoes, and a few things, but it's not a big space. It's rather small, and the fruit trees have grown tall in the meantime, and I've grown old and I have back problem. So I guess working long hours in the garden and looking after the plants is just out of the question at the moment. Have bad back. So the tickets also have a number, and I have included 9 different numbers here in different fonts. Let's cut one of each. Maybe. Perhaps there. And we need one more. have to do it like this, otherwise I'm going to be lost in the bits and pieces that are cut. So I'm just trying to work step by step. If you have some stamps with perhaps these words, you can use them as well. I have some, but I prefer these. Maybe that one can go there. I'm going to be moving these around, I'm sure. Got to start somewhere. Ticket. All right. Admit one. We've got that style and we've got this style. Decisions. Okay. Let's get this one here. Like I said, I'm going to be moving these around. just the way I am. So what do we have here? Opening hours. That fits there nicely. I'm not sure about that, but I'll leave it there for now. Are these going to be free or are they going to be paid tickets? Let's just make them all free. Exclusive pass or free admission. Normally when I do this for digital, I would do it on the computer. But I have to say, it's just so much more fun when you do it with actual things, when you glue things down and move around. That one there. And perhaps we'll make that one a paid ticket. All right, so I've cut everything that I wanted to use. Let's ink them. And then let's get some images. I'm just using this vintage photo brown ink. When I planned this video, I thought, yeah, I have to kind of think about what I'm going to talk about. So it's not a long, boring video where you just fall asleep as you watch me work. But the moment I start working on things, I just forget that I'm supposed to talk. I just go quiet and I'm thinking, how long has it been since I've said anything? And I can't really stop the recording to check. So I guess by now you all know me. I've been to botanical gardens in Melbourne and I loved it. And when I lived there in Australia, I used to take all my visitors or friends who would come. We would always take them to the botanical gardens. And I said to my husband the other day, I said, you know, I have this problem. I'm not really good at chit chat, and when I'm recording the videos, I always think, what should I talk about, you know? And then he goes to me, why don't you start telling them jokes? Because we laugh a lot at home. He should have been a stand-up comedian, really. He's so funny. And because we've been together a while, I think it brushed on me. So we love telling each other jokes. But gosh, I never know, you know, what if I tell a joke and someone gets offended? That's not a good idea. I'll just stick to the craft. No joke telling. Maybe sometimes. Now for the botanical gardens, maybe we can use some of these. Right here. Oh, maybe I can use that number there to be like the price of this ticket. What should we make the price? 5. Let's make it $5. I'm gonna cut this a bit. Every spring I have this, you know, I don't know if it's something to do with the nature waking up, so I feel the same. Like I should go and do some work around the house. Major work around the house. Okay, painting the walls, fine, but you know, now I've had it in my mind that I want to knock out one of the walls where my old studio used to be, that tiny room. There's another tiny room right next to it, and they're both really tiny and it's annoying. So I thought, how about if I just take that wall off and make one decent sized room instead of having two small ones. It would be great when we have visitors to have like a guest room. And then as soon as I start talking about it, I think my husband pretends not to hear me. I could feel his panic. It's like, what is she gonna do now? I think I'm okay to glue these here. Not gonna add any pictures there. Yeah, another thing, I was talking to him about this series, Making Ephemera, and I was thinking, what else is ephemera? And he's asking me, oh, but what about the banknotes, money? Is that ephemera too? And I'm like, that's a good question. But I don't think I should be doing that. It would be like creating forgeries. I don't know, what do you think? I don't really think I should do that. But I was thinking of doing something with playing cards. Maybe that's going to be the next episode. Maybe we can make our own playing cards. And maps, yes, I want to do maps. I've never done maps. It's going to be a challenge for me too, but I think I want to do maps. I'm going to leave that for now. Let's do this. So maps and playing cards. Or maybe even brochures, that would be fun, like smaller brochures, flyers. I won't glue these big ones yet because I'd like to put some pictures behind and then glue that on top. This one's already cut. So I'm thinking perhaps I could use that there. Although it's a little bit big, but that's all right. I can just cut that off. I've got these ones. Any one of these would work for a botanical. I won't know unless I try. So I'm gonna cut this one. I'm gonna cut one of the black and white ones, and then I'll decide. Well, that's nice. Try with this one. Might even add a little bit of color here. Make it orange. A little bit of yellow too. And some green. Try this one. Let's just cut it. Last week was my 52nd birthday, and the day of my birthday I was so sick. I can't believe I had the whole day planned, and the night before I broke down in fever, really high temperature, but no other symptoms. That was very strange. And in the morning it was the same. My whole body was in so much pain. Every muscle, every bone. I thought I must be coming down with the flu or something. And it just went on for like 3 days and no other symptoms, just that fever. And my doctor said it's probably COVID, but it didn't really affect my respiratory organs at all. I didn't have any cough or sneezing or anything like that, just body aches and high fever. And then it stopped, and I thought that was it. I'm over it. That was fast, but no. 2 days later, I broke out in a rash all over my body. It was ridiculous. And then 2 days of that, thought, yeah, finally I'm over it. Now I'm well again. But no. Then I had 2 days of having such painful joints, especially my knees and elbows and shoulders. I don't know, it must be COVID, but it really got me this time. Really weird. And I'm not going to say I'm okay now because I'm scared that some other symptoms might suddenly start showing up because I've been okay for a whole day now, and hopefully it will stay like that, but then again, you never know. And my husband was really sweet on my birthday because we couldn't really go anywhere. I couldn't move. I spent all day in bed, and he actually went to the restaurant where we were supposed to go to have dinner. He was going to take me out for a dinner, and he went there and got my favorite meal and brought it home. So we had dinner at home. I didn't have to cook or anything. And he didn't get sick. I thought if it was COVID for sure, he'll get it too. But no, he didn't. Maybe his immune system works better than mine, I guess. There is my botanical gardens ticket. I'm going to cut that off. Cut that off too. And let's do this. It started curling a little bit. And I think I should ink on this side too. So yeah, you probably noticed that it took me a bit longer to respond to your comments. I was really sick. I couldn't even look at the screen. Yeah, and the headache, that was one of the symptoms that really got me. Constant headaches. I'm just glad I'm better now. Now I feel good and I'm ready to knock some walls down and do some house renovations. Oh, hopefully he will talk me out of it. Let's do the butterfly enclosure now. We need butterflies, of course. I have some that I've already colored. You know, when we were doing the freebies with butterflies. I'll just cut some. I'll cut this one. Okay, and I have this little one. Put that one there. Hang on. Okay, no. And I'll just cut off the excess from that one. I think that would work. I'll do that. Okay. I'll just glue this bit first. And then this one on top. Very happy with this one. Okay. All right. Let's ink that. Nice. Okay, and still have that one, and I absolutely have no idea what to use here. I've got some book pages. That's a possibility. There's that one. Oh, I don't know. Oh, look at this one. Oh, even that one, that's a cute one. But maybe that one would be nice to go here. But it would cover the whole thing. I don't want to cover the whole thing. Maybe that. Just cut it. Maybe I can cut here close to this tree. Like that. Glue that there. I don't think that's the right title, but I think this one might work. Got it. Not 100% sold on that, but I'll go with it because I really like that bird. I'll just make this a little bit more like so. These are also great as a template. You can cut them from just a white cardstock and then use them as a template to make tickets from any paper you might have. Okay, I'll let that dry and then I'll cut it out. Alright, let's see. Okay, this is dry now. Let's cut that off. I just know it's not going to cut well if it's just that thin book page. Okay, it's starting to look good. Thinking maybe I can just use like a black marker or something, pen, and continue that line over the bird. Just use the ruler here. Yeah, it would work. If I had a circle that is slightly larger, I'd be able to follow. Just I'm happier with that now. Such a cute bird. I have this piece of paper. I'm going to glue that onto that. When we did old photos, I've shown you this antique cutter and I couldn't get it to work. And some of you suggested in the comments that I could place another piece of cardstock underneath because thin paper is probably not easy to cut with these. And you also suggested I could cut some aluminium foil to make it sharper. I did that, and then I tried with soda cans as well, so it's quite sharp. I can't even touch it because I'm scared I'm gonna cut myself. The main problem was this, because it's old, there's quite a bit of space between the board and the arm when it gets to here, and when you have thin paper this is what happens. Okay, but when I use cardstock, and as I push down, I also push towards the boards, it cuts perfectly. So thank you so much for all your suggestions. It was really helpful, and the main thing is I got it to work. It's just that every time I cut a thin paper, I just have to put a piece of cardstock underneath. Then it works. Look, it's even good for full postage stamps, I think. Love that. Very happy. I did go here a little bit off. I could fix that. I'm so happy that it works. So thank you guys for your suggestions. It was very helpful. And I'm glad I didn't give up on it, because it's going to be really useful. I'm going to ink that. Okay, let's add some glue here. All right, all three done. I am super happy with them all. So cute. And you know, you can print these tickets and the page with text smaller, say 2 to a page, and you will end up with smaller tickets. And I've done that, and I'm going to show you now. So they're the smaller ones. Just move these a little bit. And I think they turn out well, but I love the big ones. Okay, here it is. I used some stamps here for the numbers. Hang on, maybe I can stamp here. Number 1, I have a really large number here. Okay, I'm gonna do that in red ink. It looks a little bit empty, like so. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget your freebie, and I see you in the next video. Bye for now.